In this session, you'll learn how to use Canvas's drawing tools to create a venue model from scratch. We'll walk through importing a guide image, defining audience areas and seating sections, using symmetry for efficiency, and managing mapping and visibility settings. We start at Project Home. Since we are drawing the venue, we can close the Project Home screen and go directly to the venue activity. One of Canvas's unique features is that you can draw in 2D views, both top and side views, and the output is a fully 3D venue model. This greatly simplifies the venue drawing process while still giving you the benefit of working with a 3D venue model for system design and simulation. The process of drawing in 2D relies on having a scale reference of the venue, typically plan and elevation views, that can be used as a tracing layer. We will start by importing a plan view drawing of the venue into the top view of our venue model. To do this, select the Add Guide Layer tool in the top view toolbar. Using the Import tool, you are able to crop and scale the guide image and then add it to the venue. Once imported, the guide image is automatically centered on the origin, 000 in X, Y, and Z. We will leave this here for now while we construct our venue model so we can take advantage of some of the mirroring functionality. It is possible to set the name, position, width, depth, and opacity in the Setup tab for the selected guide image. We also recommend that once added, you lock your guide images to prevent accidentally moving them. Canvas provides 3 basic audience area shapes that are used to create the venue geometry. These are symmetric, asymmetric, and circular. An audience area defines an area of the venue where an audience is located. Each audience area may contain one or more seating sections, which are used to define floors, balconies, etc. By default, an audience area includes a single seating section. Now, we will add a symmetric audience area. The audience area has a front edge, as indicated by the arrow, and you want to have it oriented toward the center of the venue. Once added, you can easily manipulate the audience area within the top view to size it appropriately, covering this area here, which we will refer to as the East Audience Area. Using this method, it is relatively easy to align the audience area on top of the guide image and, if necessary, make finely tuned adjustments using the data field in the Area tab. The default audience area containing one seating section can be seen in the side view. Now, let's add some additional seating sections to more fully represent the venue geometry. Seating sections are the 3D element of the venue model. Creating seating sections uses the same basic concept as creating audience areas, adding a guide image and then tracing the seating sections on the guide image. First, add a guide image to the side view for this audience area to help with drawing the individual sections. Then crop the image. And using the scaling tool, define a reference line by entering a line dimension, in this case 118 feet, and positioning the crosshairs. Once it is added to the venue model, we need to position it so that it is in the correct location relative to the audience area. In this case, that means the front edge of the audience area represents the first row of seating. Once these are aligned, we can begin to add and adjust the seating sections. Let's define the seating sections from the ground up, beginning with the lower bowl. To define this seating section, simply move the start and end points of the default seating section and make sure that they lie on top of the same seating section in the guide image. Within the Sections tab, you also have the ability to name the seating section, define the audience height, and fine-tune control over the position and elevation of each seating section. You're now ready to add the next seating section. Do this by clicking on the Add Section tool within the toolbar, and a new seating section is added to the venue. Using the same process as the first seating section, you can now define the second section. Continue until all seating sections are defined. We have now built out our first audience area with a number of seating sections. If we look at the 3D venue view, we can see how the seating sections create the 3D geometry. You see the outline of the audience area here and the individual seating sections above it. Within Canvas, you can copy and paste audience areas using the copy and paste controls in the toolbar. First, select the area you want to copy, and then select Copy Area. Then, select Paste and choose from the available options for pasting the audience area. In this case, we will choose Paste Mouse Location, where you click within the venue model determines where the audience area will be pasted. You can now begin to modify the new audience area based on where it will be located within the venue. In this case, we will use this audience area to create the north seating section. First, we need to rotate the audience area so it is properly oriented to the center of the room. We will then move it into position, making sure it is centered at x = 0. Using the same process as before, adjust the width to match the guide image, and make any fine adjustments if needed. Let's repeat the copy and paste process to create the northeast corner section. First, we select the east section, then select copy, and then paste mouse location. Canvas includes a feature you can use to convert an audience area from one shape to another. This will allow us to copy and paste this symmetrical audience area and convert it into a circular audience area. It will maintain the seating sections already defined, eliminating the need to redraw them within this new shape. Within the Area tab for this audience area, we can change the geometry to circular. To place it in position, first you need to set its rotation to 45 degrees, align it with the guide image, and adjust the dimensions so that they align with the adjacent audience areas. If preferred, Canvas includes settings for snapping to the grid and to objects which help with audience area alignment. Within the studio, you can have 1, 2, or 3 workspace view panes visible. Using the Studio View control, you can select one of the predefined views for 3D venue, which reduces the studio to a single pane 3D workspace view. Now that we have completed 3 audience areas, let's look at the 3D venue view. In this view, it is easy to see how the shape of various seating sections that we defined are what is used to create the 3D venue geometry. Now let's return to our 2D drawing studio view and continue with constructing our venue. This time we will use some additional copy and paste functions. First, we select our original audience area and select copy and then paste mirror Y to create an identical copy mirrored across the Y-axis, which we will name west. We repeat this with the north section, this time using the paste mirror X to create an identical copy mirrored across the X-axis, which we will name south. Finally, select the northeast audience area. We will use copy and paste mirror XY to create the remaining 3 corner sections southeast, southwest, and northwest. When a venue has symmetry across both the X-axis and Y-axis, these tools greatly assist in modeling the venue. Each audience area and seating section has controls that adjust the following. Mapping. Include or exclude areas or sections from system mapping. Visibility. Show or hide areas or sections in your workspace. Locking. Prevent accidental edits. When you draw seating sections, Canvas automatically creates level groups. They are initially assigned in the order the surfaces are drawn, and since we drew our venue from the bottom to the top of the venue, the lower bowl is level 1, the loge is level 2, and the upper bowl is level 3. Level groups allow you to control the visibility of all sections at a given elevation with a single click. You can also define new level groups and assign seating sections to them, so you can use this capability in ways that work best for your venue geometry. You've now seen how to import and align guide images, define audience areas and seating sections, use symmetry to speed up modeling, control mapping, visibility, and grouping, and leverage level groups for efficient venue model management.